combination of pace has forged a slight advantage. We've got 3 riders here. It's only slender, the advantage, but it is from these moves that, of course, the break can develop. And Mole's got teammates further back at the head of the peloton who are happy to slow it up, but they're not happy with it. Now on the right, this is Mike Northey. Northey coming to the front, the Kiwi, beginning to apply the pressure.
So Madison Genesis attacking this race from the front, and Northey taking with him Chris Opie of One Pro Cycling. It looks as if JLT Condor want to get in the mix as well.
And that's Christian House, and he's no doubt thinking about the next leg, and that's his favourite course in Durham. He is the king of the Durham circuit, and the way he's going here, who knows, he could be the king of the Motherwell circuit.
Yeah, the peloton now all stretched out here. They're actually lapping round here at just a tad under 30 miles an hour. So a very fast circuit here in Motherwell for the first time.
Confirmation then of that leading group, and Christian House is in very good form. He won the Criterium in Nottingham that took place just a couple of days before this. Now we've got 4 riders in this group, and that means we've got a rider sitting at the back, and I don't really know where he's come from. That looks a bit like Mark Hester to me, who's on the One Pro Cycling team. Now where's he come from, Brian?
The thing is, he has already been lapped, but he's jumped in with the front of this race. You got to remember, Hugh, this is a team competition where every second is going to count. Even if you're a lap down, you still have to get involved in the race and try and keep as much time in the team as possible.
Well, he's sitting on the back then of the leaders, and he keeps taking anxious looks at the head of the peloton behind.
So Opie for One Pro Cycling, former individual winner in Canary Wharf, so really likes this series. So this is the first time we've actually seen Chris Opie towards the front, and obviously coming into some good form.
Opie, who comes from Truro in Cornwall, is a very fast finisher as he brings the breakaway riders over the line. And here's the klaxon. 1.2 kilometres to go then for sprint number 2.
So Hester hanging on the back for One Pro Cycling. He's already a lap down. He will not contest any sprints. He's just hanging on for time. Northey comes through to do his turn, and the very experienced Christian House there in the black with the yellow helmet for JLT Condor.
And they're working well together, so there's a good chance that this group could stay clear for some time. I'm not going to say this is the defining moment of the race. I still feel there's a lot of fireworks that are going to explode from behind, but at the moment they are distancing themselves.
So the series leaders, Madison Genesis in the breakaway with JLT Condor, and the second in the series, One Pro Cycling, also in the mix. So the top 2 teams, they're looking after their team's interests. Teams missing out in this breakaway, NFTO, Rally GAC and Pedal Heaven, expecting them to be on the front of the peloton.
And let's not forget, there are still points available, and that is for 4th and 5th in the Chain Reaction Cycles points jersey competition. And we can expect Kaniski from Rally GAC to be involved there, as on the head of the peloton we can see riders from Pedal Heaven trying to whip the pace up.
Well, they have been the revelation of this series. Pedal Heaven coming up in the green helmets. They're trying to close this down. Also in the mix, you can just see Rally GAC in 2nd and 3rd place.
Yeah. They've got 2 riders there, and also the crouching style of Ed Clancy, the winner in Aberystwyth. That took his tally up to 7, an outright record of individual victories in the Tour history. Back markers ahead as the leading group go over the line. They didn't sprint for it. Opie was over the line first, ahead of Northey. Now then, who's coming in next? Well, looks like Kaniski of Rally GAC. We'll wait for that to be confirmed, but if that is the case, that 4th spot for him gives him 2 points, and that means he's taken more back on the leader, and that is Tom Stewart. There is the result. 5 then for Opie, 4 for Northey, 3 for House. Yes, 2 then for Kaniski, and 1 went to Rory Townsend of Pedal Heaven. And it means the Frenchman, Kaniski, is in the lead at the moment with 6 points. Tying for 2nd are Lawless and Opie.
You can just see in the background Townsend still trying to shut this down. The gap did come down, but it looks as if it's opening ever slightly now.
Now then, there's a lot more action to come in this race. Don't go away. Welcome back, and the 3 leaders, Christian House, Chris Opie and Mike Northey, are now getting towards the line, ready for the klaxon and the penultimate sprint.
They're just about to catch another back group, lapping riders as we continue in this race. But it's Christian House for JLT Condor towards the front. Just in second place, you can see Chris Opie, the Cornishman, and Northey just in the third place.
There is the klaxon. Now, two riders in this leading group of three have won individual rounds previously. Chris Opie's won 2, and Christian House has actually won 4. So the man that's still searching for a top podium position is the Kiwi Mike Northey. And the Dane, of course, Hester, that was with the 3, has now been distanced.
So the top 2 teams in this competition, Madison Genesis and One Pro Cycling, marking each other in this round here in Motherwell. So it's up to the other teams to try and gain as much time. And it looks as if Madison Genesis and One Pro Cycling could be fighting out the honours here tonight in Motherwell.
Tom Stewart is the man that's come to the front. He's obviously smart in by the fact that he didn't get any points in Sprint 2, and Morgan Kniesky of Rally GAC stole some points on him. So it looks like the tall, rangy pole coming to the front here again. He's doing a super job, isn't he, for Kniesky? That's Domagalski.
So Christian House leading way up the start and finish area, and he'll be trying to take these maximum points.
On the front, Christian House, the 35-year-old former National Road Champion. He won that title in Abergavenny back in 2009. He's a very, very seasoned pro, an ideal man to have on your team. But crossing the line first there was Chris Opie from Northey, and Christian House in 3rd position. But still points available for the peloton. And you can see that Kniesky is 3rd wheel back at the moment. Tom Stewart is all over him like a rash. Now then, who's going to get this one? Remember, on the line there are 2 points and 1 for the line. It's Kniesky that's leading this one out, and Kniesky looks as though he's going to get the 2. He's being chased down by Bergfeldt of Sports Club Kyoto, and on the right is Tom Stewart, but I think Stewart's left it too late. Yep, 4th spot goes to Kniesky, and 5th was Bergfeldt.
Well, Kniesky just taking the points and actually eating into the advantage of Tom Stewart.
Here is the result. Chris Opie getting the 5, Northey the 4, House the 3, Kniesky gets the 2, and Bergfeldt the 1.
So this race all lined out here as we go through the back streets of Motherwell.
1 sprint to go. That's the final sprint, of course. And you can see that Opie's leading with 10 ahead of Northey, tying with Kniesky. And he's not on the board at the moment, and that is Tom Stewart.
So these 3 riders in front, Northey, Opie and House, never really contested that sprint. And expecting fireworks as they look towards winning this individual round here in Motherwell.
Coming up to the line, Northey looks back. It's 3 laps to go. 3 more laps of this 1.2 kilometre circuit. Well, surely if they stay together, Opie must be thinking about a victory here, because he's the fastest finisher out of the 3.
But just look at the incline up Hamilton Street. It's a very difficult drag all the way up the up to the finishing line. As you see Christian House just trying to think of going on the attack. Back to the peloton, and it's NFTO's Johnny McAvoy comes to the front.
That was a little probing move by House. I think he just raised the tempo to see what kind of a reaction he got from his 2 breakaway companions. And I'm just wondering what's going through his mind now. They didn't particularly respond very quickly to it.
Christian House knows he's got the experience. He's probably not the fastest finisher in this group of 3 at the front. Chris Opie, as you say, is probably the fastest, having won rounds before. Northey in the leader's jersey in white and red there, he hasn't won a round, so he'll be thinking, how can I win this round here in Motherwell? Well,
the perfect place to try and launch an attack's got to be Hamilton Road, the finishing straight. That's where you want to ratchet the pace up. That's where you can make the legs sting. And House is just on the outside here as Northey leads them through. It's going to be 2 to go when they get to the line this time.
The thing with Christian House's advantage, this is a team competition, and you've got Northey and Opie leading the first 2 teams in that competition, so it gives maybe Christian House an opportunity. And I tell you what, it looks as though he's going to take that opportunity. I said a little earlier, he had a little go, it was a probing move, but this time he is fully committed. 2 laps to go, and Christian House has taken flight, and Northey and Opie have no answer to it. You can see Northey at the front and Opie just looking at each other. They're thinking of the team competition. Christian House best move came up that finishing straight. He went on the attack. As you said, Hugh, he tested it out, and it looks as if he's flying towards victory here in Motherwell. Yes, you're right. He sprouted wings and he's left the rest
in his wake. Now that I can't see anybody pulling him back now, and he's got his favourite race still to come, Durham. Well, what a tonic this would be then if he can tidy this one up in Motherwell. His teammates not too far from the front as well, Ed Clancy.
Ed Clancy moving up there, Steele Van Hoff, the Australian national criterium champion. Very depleted peloton. Looks as if there's only about 30 riders now in this race. As you see, the orange helmets of the series leaders, they have 4, they have 1 in front, so looking good for them yet again here tonight.
And let's just reinforce the rules. It's a team competition. It's the accumulative time of all 5 team members that count. And looking at that group, it is an impressive sight to see Madison Genesis with 5 riders in those orange helmets. And if I've counted correctly, One Pro, NFTO, Pedal Heaven and Rally GAC have only got 4. So this is a perfect scenario for Madison Genesis as Christian House now powers his way up towards the line, and he's going to get the sweetest of bells, and that is to tell him it's the final lap.
Well, JLT Condor only have 2 riders in that chase group, so Christian House just thinking of that individual victory to put together with the last round with Ed Clancy's win in Aberystwyth.
So the other 2 do not seem to have any answer at all for the firepower of Christian House, the 35-year-old, who is now going further away. These 2, of course, will be sprinting out for second, and they've got to keep the pressure applied because, remember, it's all about time.
Just noticed behind them in the finishing straight, the peloton are coming, and it's Tom Scully, John Mould and Yanto Barker leading the way.
Tom Scully, the gold medal winner in Glasgow for the points competition, representing New Zealand on that occasion. And let us not forget, he was the winner of the opening round of this series in Ryde in the Isle of Wight.
So it's down this quick descent, the left-hander into Douglas Street, and then he'll be heading along to the end of Douglas Street onto the finishing straight. Does look as if Christian House is going to add an individual win into the tally he's already got in the series. Looking behind, smile on the face, he knows he's got it.
Yes, he's loving every moment of this, and it looks like his celebrations are going to start shortly. But Christian House certainly has read the race perfectly here, timed his moment well, applied the pressure, did a little probing move, but then he decided he was going to go. Looks back, no problems at all. Christian House is going to take the win here in Motherwell.
So on to the finishing straight for the last time. Do you see John Herity pumping his fist there? Good individual win for Christian House, but it's all about a team competition, and where are the teams of Madison Genesis and One Pro Cycling?
So the final 50 metres now for Christian House. There it is, the victory salute. He's 5th in the Tour Series history. Christian House is over the line first. Now then, what about behind? There's going to be some big sprints. It's Chris Opie that gets second, Mike Northey third, and on the right here, the Australian criterium champion Steele Van Hoff of NFTO gets over for 5th position, just pipping Ed Clancy into 6th spot. But looking at those orange helmets, Brian, it's good again for Madison Genesis. There's the final sprint, and that is interesting because on countback it looks like Opie will have done enough to seal the victory in that competition tonight. Yes, Opie with 14 points is ahead of House and Northey.
So yet again, another strong performance by the riders in the orange helmet, Madison Genesis, but it was all about the individual win, and Christian House for JLT pulled it off here in Motherwell.
JLT Condor's Christian House takes the plaudits in top spot on the podium.
Well, Christian, we worked it out. It's been a couple of years, hasn't it? I think Durham was your last victory, but that was a kind of Durham-esque way of winning it as well, wasn't it, in the end?
Yeah, it's, One Pro and Madison were going for the overall, and I kind of tried to play off that a little bit, knowing that they'd be cat and mouse a little. And, waited for, I kind of tested a little bit with 3 to go, and then I really put my move in with 2 to go, and fortunately it worked out okay.
Chris Opie took the most sprint points up for grabs on the night, but it's Tom Stewart of Madison Genesis who holds on to the blue and white jersey, but he's now only 2 points ahead of Morgan Kaniski. Madison Genesis took their 3rd overall team win of the series, with Mike Northey their highest place finisher on the night. That victory means that Tom Stewart and his teammates continue to lead in a fascinating battle with the One Pro Cycling team, who finished 2nd in Motherwell.